Oil making and beekeeping are two industries that, while useful, seem a little underrepresented in many playstyles. Today I'm going to show you how to manage your beekeeping industry from hive to mead, show you a few ways you can make oil, and as a bonus, I'm even going to throw in how to make paper. To start beekeeping, you'll need to make and place some hives. Generally, you'll want 2 or more, but keep in mind there's a soft limit of 40 colonies. In order for your bees to produce honey, the hive must be placed on or adjacent to an above-ground tile. They will not produce anything on a non-above-ground adjacent subterranean tile. This does not mean that hives can't be enclosed, though. Being inside or outside has no effect on production, so your dwarves can always work from safety. Unlike many of the other husbandry jobs, hive management is actually completely automated. When you open a hive menu, it will show you a few options. Install colony when ready, and do not install colony basically just means, do you want this hive on or off? Whereas gather any products or do not gather any products is a very important toggle that, if not set correctly, can seriously hinder your ability to produce honey. When dwarves harvest honeycomb and royal jelly, they end up destroying the colony inside the hive, so if all of your hives are set to gather any products, it's very likely that all of your colonies will be destroyed. It's much safer to set some of your hives to do not gather products to ensure that you always have colonies around that are ready to be split. I prefer to keep a ratio of 1 do not gather to 4 gather, but this can be flexible so long as you have at least 1 do not gather hive. Beekeepers will automatically install a colony in a hive set to install colony when ready, as long as there's a wild or splittable colony available. If you can't find any wild colonies on your map, you can usually just build a hive preemptively, and if one spawns in, your dwarves will seek it out and install it for you. If you're impatient, you can also encourage honeybee spawns by building a dirt road over any ant, termite, or bumblebee nests to free up spawn slots. Keep in mind, while honeybees are common, they're not ubiquitous, so you might end up with bad luck and not have any honeybees available on your map. As mentioned before, hives produce honeycomb and royal jelly. Because both products must be harvested at the same time, and royal jelly is considered a liquid food, a jug is required to complete the harvest. Interestingly, honeycomb is considered a tool and therefore stored at a finished goods stockpile. If you want to make a honeycomb-only stockpile, make sure to set the type to tools and the other materials to wax. To turn the honeycomb into something useful, you have to set up a job at a screw press, which will turn the honeycomb and empty jug into honey and pressed wax. The honey can be sent to your still to produce mead or your kitchen as food. The wax can be turned into wax crafts, which can then be sold to merchants. Like honey, oil is made at a screw press and requires 1 empty jug. Instead of honeycomb, though, first you have to take an oil seed like rock nuts, flax, kanaf, or some others and turn them into paste at a mill or quern. Check out my milling video if you want to brush up on automating a milling industry. Keep in mind, you'll want to set a condition to check for seeds because you want to make sure to have enough left over to plant next season's crop. Once you have your oil in your jugs, you can send it to your kitchens for food or turn it into soap with a make soap from oil job. And lastly, the bonus paper industry I promised at the start of the video. The paper industry works exactly like the oil industry, but uses different inputs. Take a cloth plant like pigtails or kanaf and turn it into slurry at a mill or quern. Then take that slurry and turn it into paper at a screw press. Making slurry creates seeds, so you don't have to worry about exhausting your cloth plant supply. Do note, however, there's a bug currently where slurry stored on the floor in a stockpile will trigger a cleanup job, resulting in it being destroyed. To prevent this, disable paste from being stored in food stockpiles, then the slurry will remain safely in the mill until it's used at the screw press. That's it for this guide. If you liked it, please leave a like and drop a comment if you have anything else you'd like me to cover.